and women. You gotta stop. Like, for real, put the camera on me. For real. We gotta stop telling niggas what you do in your own personal time has nothing to do with me. It does, my nigga. If you call, come on, man. Yeah, it does matter. It does matter. That
y'all can stop with the nonsense. Worry about all this bull crap. Mind your business. Well, they say you going on dates with dudes, bro. Why the hell do you or anybody care who the hell I spend my time with? That's the problem with y'all people. Y'all worried about who people spend their time with. Whatever I'm doing in my bedroom is my damn business. Whatever you doing in your bedroom is your damn business. That ain't for everybody. And everybody don't need to know. You ain't got to say anything about what you doing in your fucking house. It's your house. You ain't got to explain that to nobody, no matter what they say. They can say anything. Who gives two shits? Y'all too damn nosy, worried about what I'm doing in my bed. Hell, the people who know what's going on in my bed, they know what the hell going on with my bed and what the hell I do in it. That ain't for everybody on the internet. That ain't for no blogs. That ain't for no websites. I don't got to tell nobody where I put my wood at, since y'all want to get to it. That ain't nobody business where I put my shit at. Y'all just weird. If you want to know what people doing in their bedroom and who they messing with and sleeping with, you are weird. You're the weird one. Oh, shoot, y'all heard about that, Dwight? They said Dwight was in a text messaging a guy. Nigga, who cares? Who cares who I was text messaging? You just mad because I want text messaging yo ugly ass. That's what it is. Worrying about the wrong stuff. Focus on you. Worrying about who in somebody's bed and what they doing in their own bedroom. It ain't your bed. You ain't gonna never get in my bed. So stop worrying about it.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on do our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, Gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. All right, family, what's up? What's up? What's up? Basketball Jones! I got the basketball Jones! I got the basketball Jones! Oh, yeah. So Let's go. let me let me put myself on the screen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all see the pumpkins out over there. I'm getting ready for Halloween, All Hallows Eve. How we doing tonight, family? Welcome to another exciting edition of Random Topic Sundays here on channel GBoot 2786. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed and doing safe. If you're watching via YouTube, if you're watching via X or Facebook, welcome, welcome, welcome. My girl Danielle Meyer is here in the building. What's up, baby? Thank you for being here. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, family. You know YouTube doesn't like this platform, but whenever we go live, we like to report this. We like to make sure the algorithm stays up and fighting it. So there's a lot going on. That was the main topic leading in that I want to talk about from what y'all saw. But there's some other stuff that's happened within the last, I want to say 24 hours. Of course, you know, the big news that happened this past week was the shooting that took place in Lewiston, Maine. And the shooter, Robert Howard, has been found. He was found dead due to a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Well, earlier, I want to say yesterday evening, Saturday night, there was a Halloween party that took place in Tampa, and there was another shooting, sadly, that took place at a bar that left 18 people injured and 2 dead. So before we talk, before we deal with ass milk, before we talk about Dwight Howard versus Mase and a few others, we're going to talk about this shooting that took place in Tampa, as well as what happened in Maine. So I'm going to talk about that. So we're going to go play that. My little man has been sick. What's up, Danielle? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he gets better. So let's talk about this shooting that took place out in Tampa, what you have going on. There is a 22-year-old who has been charged in this shooting. This happened in Bar City, which is, I guess that if you know how they have cities within a city, so I'm guessing this is in the outskirts of Tampa. But we're gonna play this from Fox 13. The killer, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The alleged killer is a guy by the name, a 22-year-old by the name of Tyrell Phillips, who's present here. You see him on the screen. So we're gonna play this video and talk about that. So this happened in the 1600 block of East 7th Avenue around 2:47 a.m. this morning. The police state that it's just unfortunate that these late night, early morning incidents are occurring, where you have deputies that in the past may have been settled in a verbal argument and at the very worst, a physical fight. According to police, a 14-year-old black male and a 20-year-old white man were killed. Officials say there were 16 additional victims who were taken to the hospital. Those victims had gunshot wounds. Chief Burkall said the majority of the victims, ranging from 18 to 27 years old, have been released from the hospital. The 5 victims who are still in the hospital have non-life-threatening injuries, according to the PD.
Chief Lee Burkall, I want to tell you that we're here today with an arrest of a suspect, and thanks to the community that came forward this morning. I was out asking for tips. We received tips, a plethora that came through. Because of that, we were able to charge Tyree Stevens, 22. We're able to charge Tyree Stephen Phillips, 22-year-old, with second-degree.
please give me a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe button. So what's happening? I'm sorry, the video Tyrell Stevens, who you see pictured here, is suspect accused of secondary murder. So find what the easiest solution is. And the easy solution to some is just if a ban these firearms, ban these guns, we make it stricter, then there won't be more shootings. Sorry. So I was having some internet trouble. It was kicking in and out. But as I was saying, is that what you have, unfortunately, in these situations, everybody looks for the easy way out when it comes to violence and gun control. And the problem with that is, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is no easy solution to anything like this. Whenever a killing takes place, there is no way in which to stop, in my opinion, that is automatically going to stop it. There's no right and wrong answer to it. We have some of the tough, in some cities, they can make the argument, well, they have strict gun laws in Chicago and in Washington, D.C., which they do. And even in New York, however, the crime rate has not effectively changed because of that, because the criminals still find a way to get a damn gun. We have laws that prohibit felons from carrying firearms, and yet felons still carry. I've, as an attorney, have represented felons who were still charged, or at least potential felons who were still charged with carrying a firearm, alleged to have done so. The point being is that where misery loves company, we have crimes, we have enacted a criminal code throughout our country and everywhere around the world where we say murder is the highest murder is the highest offense anybody can be charged with, or terrorism, and that there's a penalty for it. People still do it. Why? In spite of all they know, the penalties that can result, the thrown away, the loss of life, the loss of property, the loss of their livelihood, people will still kill other people because that is human nature. Human nature and human beings are prone to be emotional. And especially when you're dealing with psychopaths, sociopaths, or beta males who do not care about others but themselves, you're going to have a situation where people are going to get hurt, sadly, like this. And there's no way, unfortunately, to stop it, because shit happens. It's not saying that it's right or wrong. Of course, we are heartbroken when we see this, but I find it interesting when you have shootings that take place here in New Orleans and Chicago, Miami, where they involve people who don't look like you and I, for instance. Most of my viewers are black. When they are white or when they're black, when they look like me, no one talks about gun control. But gun control only gets talked about when little white kids are shot up in schools or shot up in a church. Nobody talked about gun control. That's another thing. When Dylan Roof killed those people in Mother Emanuel Church, there was no talk about gun control. He shot and killed 9 people back in 2015. Hard to believe that was 8 years ago. So you have 2 people dead. I'm sorry, I was trying to play, and DeSantis is getting heat because Forbes magazine wrote this article saying that uh, the state has these lax gun laws, and he's being criticized. The question I have to say is, who's doing the criticism? Now, the Tampa neighborhood of Yubar City. So this was a neighborhood in Tampa were disrupted when 2 fighting groups pulled out guns and started shooting when hundreds of innocent people in the way early Sunday morning. 2 people were fatally shot, as I reported. So what they're stating is that it was likely, and this is my opinion, probably rival gang members that pulled guns on each other and started happening. So this one person may be just one of many that could be possibly indicted and charged. So you have the Tampa Bay Mayor Jane Castor calling for gun laws changes in gun laws that would prevent such shootings. Uh, you know, they got Representative Lindsey Cross, who's called on Congress to pass more gun laws. There's no right and wrong to this situation. That's the thing. We want to do the easiest thing. This is going to change that. This is going to change that. It's not. People like to use Japan and say, well, Japan doesn't have any violence. They ban guns. They also, yeah, that's true. But guess what? Japan also has some of the highest suicide rates. Do you prefer deaths by suicide or deaths by violence? Which one? Death by homicide or suicide? Which one's better? Or we all hate loss of life? I do. And situations like that, there's no way. If they had more police protection or presence there, perhaps this could have, as the police chief even said in his statement, it could have just ended with a physical fight or verbal argument. That would have been it. What we have, though, in today's world is not the availability of guns that increases, decrease. What we have is societal decadence. Morals have gone. There's no respect for the elderly. There's no respect for the youth, for children. There's no respect for sick people. People don't respect the life of property. People don't respect the sanctity of marriage. People don't respect the law. People don't fear the law. When I'm out here in New Orleans, you got kids doing donuts in the streets. You got people running red lights. I'm talking about in broad daylight for cloud chasing. And they record this stuff. Guess what? They don't care. They do not care. So this is the only person that was charged. But there could be, is there a possibility? They say 2 groups broke out as hundreds of people were filing out of bars and nightclubs in Tampa's Yard Bar City neighborhood just before 3 a.m. So they were all out for the Halloween party, Halloween event, which is why I'm assuming this 14-year-old was out past 3 o'clock or near 3 o'clock. That's my guess. He probably was with somebody, and when the shooting started, everything broke up, and sadly, he got hit along with the other 20-year-old man. Or they could have been together. There's no word on it. And now they say police say there were 2 handguns recovered at the scene, one of which was stolen. They are looking into whether other shooters were involved. There probably were. And, you know, as a defense attorney, here's the law part for me, guys. We would have to, as an attorney, even if you saw the person there as a defense attorney, the question would have to be is, were there any witnesses that actually saw him shoot the gun? Number one, how can they determine if there were more than one? Because they're saying there were 2 groups and shooting was going on where a bunch or more pulled out guns. They would have to be able to prove, number one, was it that firearm that they recovered, or one of the 2 firearms from where the bullet was discharged from? Can they prove that his fingerprints were on it, that he had that? In which, who killed who is basically a question. You have an issue of causation. So there are a lot of grounds that a defense attorney could make with this. And unless he does some type of plea deal or confession or whatever, and he says contrary to otherwise, but you know, the oldest law in the book, and especially when it comes to criminal code, is that a defendant doesn't have to testify against himself. That is a constitutional right. So that's interesting. And then we have the shooter, Robert Cord, in the main shooting.
After a more than 48-hour manhunt.
Play the video for what happened. Of course, we know at least, if I'm not mistaken, 18 were killed and 13 were wounded after he opened fire in a bar and in a bowling alley. And this man this coward, has ended his own life, supposedly. I'm gonna just say this is a cowardly move because he shot up all of these people that ran away in his boat, and instead of facing the consequences, he killed himself. Now, could there have been mental health issues? I think that's an easy thing to catch on with a lot of people. But at the same time, yes, I admit those things do exist. But I noticed with all of these shootings, with these mass shooters, especially when they don't look like you and I, the first thing they run to and try and help them is by saying, oh, he had mental issues. I agree with Brother Harvey with that. Like, that is a crutch. But there is a reality to it, too. You know, when Harvey was in, shout out to Brother Harvey, by the way. I hope he's doing good. He's watching this. He served in the Army as well as his father, God rest his soul, and others. My grandfather served in the Army and never killed anybody outside of being in the military. Both of my grandfathers. I've never heard of them wanting to go in. And my mom's dad saw action in Germany. So did his brothers. I've never heard, and they may have had PTSD and didn't talk to us about it, but they never ever once thought it was, especially being the man that my grandfather was, the Christian that he was, the devout Catholic. I never saw him talk about wanting to kill someone or saw any type of behavior like this. Somebody is sick in the head if they are thinking it's okay to do stuff like this. Somebody is sick in the head. So let's play this video courtesy of CNN. By the way, fair use, fair use.
The suspect in the mass shootings at both of these locations in Lewiston, Maine, has been found dead by apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to law enforcement. Now, look, this is the end of what has been a very tense chapter for many in this community, wondering where this person may be, especially given the violent nature of what he was accused and what police believe he did. Now, to give people an idea of where this body was found, we are outside the Barn Grill, which was the second location of the mass shootings that happened on Wednesday night. This body was found just about 10 minutes away from here in the town over from Lewiston, which is where we are, in Lisbon, Maine. And it was found near a recycling plant, where, as we understand from law enforcement sources, a plant where he was fired from recently. And so at this point, this now begins the next phase of an investigation for officers to figure out, okay, what led up to the actions that they say he carried out over the course of Wednesday night, and why did this happen? So that is one aspect of the investigation that continues. However, the main priority that everybody had been looking for of trying to locate this person is now over. It is a sigh of relief for many in this community. It is a sigh of relief for many of the leaders in this community, as they laid out in their latest press conference. We also learned that they found the body at 7:45 p.m. Eastern time Friday night. It wasn't until hours later that they announced. And what they said they were doing in the meantime was they were notifying the families of victims. They also said, on the whole, been cooperative throughout this entire process. And while there's still more investigative work ahead, there is a lot more grieving ahead for many of the families here affected. At least 8 live on in this community for much longer than this 48-hour manhunt. Omar Jimenez, CNN, Lewiston manhunt. Omar longer than this 48-hour manhunt. As one resident told us.
So those are the victims that you see there: Arthur Stroud, Brian McFarland, Joseph Walker, Joshua Seal, Max Hathaway, Michael DeSlores II, Peyton Brewer Ross, Tommy Kennard, Tricia Asselin, Billy Brackett, Ron Morin, Bill Young, Aaron Young, Stephen Vocella, Bob Violet, Jason Adam Walker, Lucille M. Violet, and Keith McNear. May they rest in peace. We never want to see anybody get killed, but everybody thinks that the first thing everyone has to do is change the gun laws in this state. Change this. This is going to affect that. Whether he had, let's say he didn't have an AR-15. If you go back to even the Virginia Tech shooting over 16 years ago, that man used handguns to kill 22 people. Virginia Tech shooting, he used a handgun. That didn't change anything. And we know on college campuses you can't bring guns on a facility, but yet he did this anyway. He killed 33 people. 23 were injured, and the main weapon was a Glock 19 and a Walter P22. These are handguns. They're not AK-47s. This wasn't an AR-15. Now, he used the weapon used in this instance, I believe, was an AR-15. But the point is that this is a person that decided to attack the weak. This was a wolf that went after a sheep, and there was no shepherd that was present. The police don't respond, and let's be clear too, cops can't respond to crime. They can only respond after it happens. Unless the officer is standing right there immediately, they can't stop and don't often stop these things. So let us do what needs to be done in which to save ourselves, in which to protect ourselves from situations like this. I wish there would have been police officers. I don't know if there were. They haven't stated it, but if there had been officers of security around at these places, where I'm at, I bowl often. There usually is a police officer. I've seen a cop car. We have some police officers actually on our bowling league that are present. I don't know if that would have solved the case, if that would have helped. Perhaps. Maybe we wouldn't have had as many people dead. But the point is, and what I'm saying is that this is not Minority Report. How can I stop something I know nothing about when it's going to happen? Some may not like proactive policing. But y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. What do y'all think? Do you think that, what do you think of these shootings? Do you think it's going to solve or change anything if they ban AR-15s? I don't believe it will. Do you think tougher gun laws are going to change everything? I don't think it will. Remember, even George W. Bush created the national, after the Virginia Tech shooting, George W. Bush, he signed and created the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. And the state of Virginia, they closed legal loopholes that they claim would allow individuals adjudicated as mentally unsound to purchase handguns. I don't know. Thank you, computer robots. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Now the moment you all have been waiting for. So a lot has happened. There's a lot I could have talked about. DJ Envy, I know, was caught up in that Ponzi scheme. And I don't know as to his innocence or guilt. I won't say too much, but he seems to be in trouble with it. And even I heard Joe Budden had warned him about it, because when he came to Joe Budden about it, Joe Budden even said, man, it sounds like a Ponzi scheme. I'm not going to get caught up with it. But you got to be careful. I'll just say this much, and I'll have to do another video about it. But you got to be careful who you do business with, because they use your name, your influence, your celebrity to attract others. And if they are not on the up and up and something happens, the first person everybody's going to be looking at is you. And that even happens with us. That even happens with us as attorneys. We're the first to get blamed and the last to get fame, especially as public defenders. They always say and often say that you work with the state, you trying to cut something up. You mess this up. Something goes wrong, you offer them, you do what your job is, but when things go wrong, you're the first person that gets blamed. And it's not fair, but it's true that happens. And it's not true I don't work for the state. Just for the record. Public defenders, while it is while you may work for the public, for instance, if I work for the public defender's office, let's say, for example, in St. Tammany, and I work there, well, it is a quasi-government job in the sense that we are part of the state's public defense board. That is not the same as being a district attorney for the state. There's two separate offices. It's led by two different people, so it is not the same. My job, and the key word as a public defender, is to defend, not prosecute. And while I may know someone, and you may be a colleague who's a colleague, that doesn't mean Yeah, we are cordial with each other, but that doesn't mean I have to side with him on everything. I don't. But that's just an example I'm giving to y'all. But yeah, envy's got to be, and I got a little attention deficit disorder because I did something different. But yeah, I talked about something different. But yeah, but y'all get what I'm saying. So wow. So what happened here? I'm on Twitter. So yeah, Envy though, he's gotten in a lot of trouble, and even he may have not done anything illegal, but I mean lawsuits are going to be filed. I don't know if this might actually hurt the Breakfast Club brand, perhaps. Who knows? It could very well cost him his job because they pay attention to that stuff. But be careful. So I don't know what the hell this is, but y'all.
Don't touch me. I'm just saying, walk. You're who you talking to, dog? I'm just saying, y'all say, just walk. Then walk. Ooh. Who the fuck you talking to? Oh, no, stop.
What's wrong with you? Are you fucking
Hey, what's up? Hey, one by one, what's up, nigga?
fucking security guard are you?
Fuck you, bitch. Walk.
Dude, what's wrong
Fuck
with
you,
you?
bitch. Get the fuck my face, nigga. I'm flat your shit, nigga.
I don't know what happened with that, but he knocked that dude out. Damn.
Don't fuck my kill. Don't fuck my ass, nigga. Shut up. Don't fuck my
So I was just randomly looking through that. You had DJ, and so we had that with DJ Envy, and then Captain Bangs has been, Bang from, not Bang from Batman, Bangs, as in Cynthia G, has been banned from YouTube. I couldn't have been happier. I don't usually like when YouTube shadow blocks or bans people because I support freedom of speech and so forth. But I couldn't have think of a worse person who didn't deserve this than Cynthia G. This woman has shown a complete disdain for black men. In her comments, in her videos, in the things that I've seen, she has done nothing but attack black men over and over again. And she has a black son. I don't know too much about her personally. I think, from my understanding, from what people have said, maybe it stems from some type of fatherly issues that she didn't have when she was a kid, and maybe. But she did a whole video about aborting black males. She argued, and shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. I saw the video. O'Shea Duke Jackson had the video up and Dennis Sperling, and we're talking about it. Brother Sperling was talking about it as well, where she talked and argued with a caller about how she would have had it easier if she had aborted her black son. I saw this with my own eyes. Now, I don't usually pay attention to shit like this, but this woman is the epitome of self-hate. Who was horrible to the elder? I didn't see that. You talking about one who cares? This woman was the epitome of self-hatred. Now, YouTube has they do this stuff with hate speech, and I agree. A lot of what they do is, since it's set on automatic, and I don't think they do a good job of screening everything. I think they're overtly sensitive. But what she had been preaching over the years on her platform was straight bigotry and straight up hatred of black men. Period. And there was obviously a change.org petition that was started by a Dr. No, You Just Didn't back in 2021 to get her off the show, get her off YouTube. This had over 1,879 signatures. So she talked about this. So she got what she deserved. I don't want to play the video of it because even if I play the video and I'm doing commentary, I don't want YouTube to take my stuff down. You know how they do with me. I mean, I got suspended for making fun of Shannon Sharp versus LeBron, Shannon Sharp versus Kwame Brown. Are you talking about the Elder Baba? Who? What elder? But yeah, she deserved that. Speaking of elders, Louis Farrakhan, if you all haven't known, has filed a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against the ABL for defamation of character as well as other allegations he's made. Basically, as I have pointed out to you all, and you all may be aware of this, that Minister Farrakhan has been banned on social media platforms, and from YouTube to Instagram to Facebook. And part of that goes back to this history with the ABL and his relationship and words with the Jewish community. And so he's filed a lawsuit against them for $4.8 billion against the Anti-Defamation League and the Simon Wiesenthal Center. Now, I'm just on the route. Oh, Baba Rashan from New Orleans? Yeah, I know who he is. Look at this from the root. Noah McGee wrote this article. Now, this is the root. This shouldn't surprise you. But look how they wrote this. He says, Louis Farrakhan's lawsuit against the ABL might be the biggest one in recent history. The Nation of Islam leader is suing the Jewish civil rights group for $4.8 billion in Manhattan federal court, accusing them of falsely labeling him as an anti-Semite. The lawsuit is to ensure that the abuse, misuse, and false use of the term anti-Semite, anti-Semitic, and anti-Semitism as falsely charged by the ABL is permanently barred from being a tool to defame Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam and stifle the exercise of constitutional rights. But these claims that he has written, now look at how he goes with the article, though. Now, he doesn't even cite where he got this from, but he says, no, Hitler was not a great person. He committed mass genocide and is responsible for the deaths of millions of people. Previously, he has referred to Jewish people as satanic. Most notably, during the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March, the Farrakhan said the satanic Jews control everything and mostly everybody. He also called them termites during a 2018 speech. When they talk about Farrakhan, call me a hater. You know how they do. Call me an anti-Semite. Stop it. I'm an anti-termite. Despite the insane dollar amount, the ADL does not seem to be too worried about the lawsuit, telling the New York Post, quote, it has no merit. So that basically, and so neither does this article. Neither does this journalist. See, I can already tell if it's by the root, the direction it's going to be. That tells me that you're not a very good journalist. This tells me it's going south real quick whenever you hear or see the root, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what they think of Minister Farrakhan and wonder why nobody watches this or reads the root. You see, it has nobody runs and jumps to the root when they want to do a story, like talking about it. Nobody is posting articles from them anymore. Let's be real. Yeah, and there was a video I saw. Dennis Sperling was even talking about it. There was a video of someone who comments how that's one of the things that that community uses when people go against them. They like to throw that charge. Now, anti-Semitism is a real deal. Don't get me wrong; it's real as is racism. But everybody that has a constructive should not be that has criticism of certain things and aspects of that community shouldn't just be labeled automatically as anti-Semite. I agree. But anyway, I'll top it. Our main course. Basketball Jones. I love the basketball Jones. I love basketball Jones. Ooh, 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 ooh. Damn. So y'all saw the video. So what's going on? And y'all saw that whole video. The two videos I may have played earlier. If you didn't just catch it, we're talking about former NBA basketball star Dwight Howard, 37 years old veteran, a man who has 5 children, by the way, by 5 different women. He has been in the media recently because a lawsuit was filed against him in a court in Georgia, which I believe that's where Dwight Howard is from, or lives rather, where he's being accused of sexual assault. According to Radar Online, Stephen Harper is suing Dwight Howard for assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment, and dropped a photo of the alleged third person involved in their threesome, a cross-dresser known as Kitty, on social media. In the complaint, Harper wrote that, with all due respect, Kitty is an older, unattractive person in their 40s. Hours into me being at Dwight Howard's home, he ambushed me with this person. Meow. That's one cat he wished didn't have 9 lives, I bet. Wish that kitty was spaded. Now, Dwight Howard, who won a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers in 2020, has denied any wrongdoing. I should say he's denied that there was any type of wrongdoing on his part, non-consensual sex. But that's the thing. Dwight Howard, apparently in court records, he admitted that any relationship that they had and any sex they had was consensual. He previously admitted to having a threesome with a man and with Kitty, and claimed that the sex was consensual, according to a report on Radar Online. However, both Howard and Harper acknowledged that Kitty is a man dressed as a woman or as a cross-dresser. Now, it was reported that it was really whether this was a trans person or not, but apparently that's not the case. And so you had Mase, former bad boy rapper, who was actually on, has his podcast, and I played a clip of it, and he responded to these allegations and what was happening with Dwight Howard. And Dwight Howard heard it and apparently didn't like what he heard, and clapped back at him, Tariq Nasheed, and others, although he didn't name them by name, but other people on social media from talking about it. So this was the video.
Those are the lies that are going on in society. We tell people it don't matter, but behind your back, it matters. And that's what we got to first start off by saying. Like, you hear stats saying this, because what people do in their bedroom, that's between them. Not necessarily true, but I understand. You get what I'm saying? Because you telling them it don't matter, but then it does matter. And anybody watching this knows it does matter. Even to people that participate, it matters. Because people will say, oh, it don't matter. And as soon as they find out, they're outing them, so it matters. You know, and when it comes down to making money off the story, it matters. When it comes down to who dating you is going to matter. When it comes down to if we're gonna, look at Cam. Put the camera on Cam. When it comes down to if you're going to be in the locker room with them, it matters. Because there's about 30 teams that did not sign Dwight Howard because it matters. So let's dispel that. That's the first thing we got to dispel. The second thing is that is consensual. It's never consensual if you surprise somebody.
Well, he thought it was just going to be the two of them and got surprised with the third. Didn't expect the third one. He didn't expect it.
You say it's consensual. It's a surprise. Yeah, this is, and I don't be meaning to laugh. Sometimes I make myself laugh, but it's not funny. But it is funny.
Stupid, man.
Yo, he said it's consensual. So just think, you're somewhere, you're with somebody, and somebody walk out of the side door with a leprechaun outfit on. It's not longer consensual.
Look at the Irish. Your luck just ran out, laddie. Oh, they were having a good time and tearing him up. And Dwight Howard didn't like it. That was the video I played earlier. He basically told everybody to mind their damn business. Now, let me show you something. I'm going to go back to the video, but this was video Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur is surfaced. It was back in 2015, and I kind of remember this, seeing this one. Dwight Howard this was in 2015. Dwight Howard grabbed the man's crotch, supposedly. Clearly puts his hand there. Damn. And the guy jerked away. So I do remember this. Now, does that mean or prove anything that Dwight Howard is being accused of by this Stephen Harper guy? No, it doesn't. But it looks suspicious. It doesn't help him. I'll just say that much. If they wanted to look now, it has nothing to do with the case per se, but if they were trying to say or make an argument if he was being criminally charged, which he hasn't, and they wanted to bring witnesses on, can they use this information? I would probably argue that it's not admissible as a defense attorney because it's not, it's from, first off, it's been no charges from that. It's 7 years ago. It's prejudicial. I'd object to all of it. But people would try and use that against him because they'll say, oh, he has a propensity to be grabbing sticks. So So Dwight Howard wasn't happy about it, and his lawyers, his legal team, have basically sent cease and desist letters, or I won't say a letter, but a cease and desist to people on social media. Self-talk talked about it. Uh, you know, Stephen A. Smith has talked about it, and brother Self-talk had it in a post, and this was the statement. I think this is courtesy of Shade Room. And I'm gonna just say this: if Dwight Howard or his legal team have a problem with what I'm talking about, then I definitely will love to respond, because nowhere on this show, I'm not taking anything down. Nowhere on this has I stated that Mr. Howard has sexually assaulted anybody. I don't believe he has. I have no evidence to that. He's innocent until proven guilty. He's denied it. Fine. Yet what he does behind closed doors, is it his business? Yes, it is. Unless, of course, you're talking about doing something illegal. Well, then no, that's the business of the state, especially if the alleged victim wants to press charges. And when you're accused of this stuff and you are a celebrity, people will talk about it. Even if you are innocent, that's going back to Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, O.J. Simpson, Bill Cosby, Kobe Bryant, a bunch of people, and I'll even name the white actors that have been in trouble: Sean Penn, Robert Blake, and the guy from that '70s show, Danny Matheson. Now, of course, they protect them because they don't talk about it as much, but we talk about those issues. If you get charged and arrested, that's news. So this was the statement he made and released. By taking immediate action, Dwight's legal team is aggressively pursuing anyone who is online or otherwise attempting to go after his name with false claims. Dwight strongly emphasizes with any real cases of sexual assault, empathizes with any real cases of sexual assault, and believes that fabricated stories as such make it difficult for the real victims of true crimes to come forward. Assault has never been an element in Dwight's character, and he's never sexually assaulted anyone. The insensitivity of the individuals making such claims to damage his reputation is unfortunate. However, Howard plans to continue to live his life with grace and not let such false claims ruin his joy and spirit. Best and blessings, Dwight Howard and team. Yes. Right. Well, he's free to do whatever he wants in his bedroom and play with any cat, even if it's not the cat we're thinking of. The problem is with Dwight is that you're accused of this stuff. It obviously will come out. It's public record. When you make your admissions, now you didn't admit to doing anything illegal. I agree with that statement, but people obviously are going to speculate on it based off what any type of past behavior. That's why we always say, if I don't know the facts of the case or I'm not familiar with it, I say alleged, because I'm not saying you did it. I'm saying you're alleged and accused of it. And I've already stated he has not been charged criminally with anything. But when you say it is your business, here's another problem with that. You have children. You have a relationship at one point with a woman, Tia Cooper, beautiful, by the way, one of the beautiful stars of the WNBA. If you want to look at her, you can look at. And if you obviously you like girls as well, because you wouldn't have had 5 kids. But the thing is, and you look at it then, is that if you are switch hitting, which it looks like, because and I'm going off what you admitted to, sir, you stated that you had consensual relations with another man. Then if you are in a relationship with a woman, let's say you decide to be with a female, then how is keeping it secret from her helping her? You see, what you do in your bedroom is your business, but when you can do something that could cause harm, perhaps, because we all know, especially if you're doing having unprotected sex, you can end up with some type of disease, STD, and whether you know it or not, whether you feel the effects of it or not, you can actually give that person a venereal disease. You can cause someone to get sick. Let's just put it that way. I'm trying to watch it from YouTube, but that stuff happens. So it does become other people's business, especially the women you've been with, because then, if he was into that, I wonder how long he's been into that. And if that's the case, do I need to go get checked? Just in case. See, that's the other aspect of it. Now, it's not to judge Dwight Howard and say, that's between him and God. But the bottom line is that when you're a public figure and this stuff comes out, people unfortunately are going to talk about it. And based off the past behavior and stuff I've seen, and it's been rumored for stuff for that for years, and I didn't care about it, but I've heard that stuff about Dwight Howard. And now somebody's coming out and he's confirmed, yes, I do sleep with men, but I've never did anything illegal. I've never done anything illicit, and that's fine. But now it's come out, people will talk about it. You're Dwight Howard. You're a celebrity. But he was mad at Mase. Don't get mad at Mase and others for discussing the subject. The best thing to do is shut down everything, focus on your lawsuit, let your attorneys handle it, and don't comment. Because then now, the stuff you say when you comment on these things, if there is a lawsuit that moves forward, let's say it goes to trial, or there's some type of criminal, let's just say there was any type of criminal allegations that are made or criminal proceedings that step forward. Anything you say in public get be used against you. Look at what happened with Tupac and the Allen brothers when he was accused of assaulting them over not getting a role in Menace to Society. All the prosecutors had to do was play that video that he did on Yo MTV Raps, and that's all they needed.
It's not consensual. It's not consensual. Y'all want me to keep going? Because this makes sense. It makes sense, but people be lying, and folks can't get help if y'all lie. That's not consensual. Consensual is agreeing beforehand on what's going to happen. If it's not agreed to beforehand, it's not consensual. Young guys need to know this. Young ladies need to know.
Well, I would disagree with Mase on this point. Yeah, if you don't know beforehand, it's a problem. Yeah, it may not be consensual. The problem with that is if you know immediately and you can stop then as a man and say, no, I'm not doing this no more. You didn't tell me this, and walk out. Now, unless somebody puts a gun to your head and make you do it, then that's not consensual. So Mase is not a lawyer. He's a rapper. Let's be clear. But I understand what he's trying to say.
Notice, it's not consensual if it's not agreed to beforehand. To put somebody on the spot and say, oh, it's consensual. No, it doesn't. Consensual doesn't work like that. Like growing up, I met a girl at the club. I tell her, listen, I only do the first night. If we got to wait, I can't do it. Because I don't got time like that. Tomorrow ain't promise. I've changed since then a little bit, but that's where I am.
Bring that nigga back outside. Bring that nigga back. I miss that nigga.
Tomorrow's not promise.
I miss that nigga.
It's tonight only. It's tonight only.
Bring him back out.
Yeah.
That nigga was with me in the whole house. I was that nigga.
Yeah,
Kim would say, what you tell her? I told her it's tonight. If it can't happen tonight, it never happened.
Oh shit.
She said, well, tomorrow is gonna be better for me. I said, I won't need it tomorrow. Need it tonight.
Oh shit.
But
He's not lying, yo. He's definitely not lying.
yeah, we need it.
He's definitely
tonight.
not lying. So 100%.
He said, well, my friend's gonna be in town. I'm gonna have a babysitter tomorrow. Forget the kids. Tonight or no night. Tonight is the only night that matters.
Yo,
but I
it's a
changed. I changed.
Hey, I'm not gonna comment on none of that. What I will say is I remember that. I remember those times. And I miss them. Because listen, you can't get mad at that though.
Yeah, that's consensual. You knew.
They were too funny, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. Yeah, that package the package is real. That's what that trapped in the closet was about. Not saying that Dwight, and again, because I don't want his lawyers coming at me, that Dwight Howard said this or has that. He doesn't. But I'm saying it's just in general, and that's been one of the problems with switch hitting, if you dig my meaning. If you feel this way, then come out. And maybe he did. But that's what happens. All right. So I'm gonna wrap things up, y'all. I wasn't gonna be long. I did an hour. I was actually trying to keep it to 45 minutes. I went over talking with y'all because this shit was funny. But I'm hoping nobody beware of any men, beware of any woman named Kitty. Always check in between. Therefore, know the terms of the deal before you arrive and sign the contract if you dig my meaning. But yeah, best of luck to everybody involved. I'll just leave it at that. So hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you, Danielle, for your contribution. If you love my channel, you love what I talk about, then drop something in the Cash App. It's not a begging. I'm not begging or anything like that, but I'll appreciate anything that you all give if you choose to. The YouTube doesn't monetize the channel. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Yeah, I'm out of here. Good night, y'all. I'll see y'all later this week. All right. Happy Halloween. Might do a Halloween show. Oh, by the way, speaking of Halloween, do y'all know there's going to be a thriller docu-series that's coming out on Paramount Plus and Showtime? Thriller, the 40th, commemorating the 40th anniversary of Michael Jackson's Thriller. It came out in '82, actually, but it's going to be 40 years since when the Thriller music video came out, which everybody, that was biggest album of all time, still is. They trying to throw, they threw some shade at Michael. They always throw shade at Michael. Billboard had the top Halloween songs, and Thriller was not even on this list. And I noticed it because Taj Jackson was talking about it. They had, hold on, this is the list on Billboard magazine. Billboard has Roy Orbison, Charlie Daniels Band, Santana, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Cliff Richard, Kodak Black, Classic 4, Imagine Demons, Iron XS, Mitch Ryder, Janet Jackson's Black Cat, T.I. featuring Justin Timberlake, Cher, Rockwell, which Michael Jackson was on, by the way, Bobby Brown, Ghostbusters, Eminem, and Rihanna. So they have Monster Bash at #1. They don't have Thriller. Thriller is not on this list. This is why I don't take this shit serious. This is why I don't take magazines serious like Billboard or Rolling Stone. because they're racist. How you throw shade, don't have Thriller on here, regardless of what you feel about Michael Jackson. Personally. You can't deny it from the business side, the music side. That's just like if you said something about Darren Sharper. Darren Sharper was one of the best safeties in the NFL. He's the main reason why the Saints, one of the main reasons why the Saints have a Super Bowl ring. Yeah, he did rapist shit, and he's likely won't get into the NFL Hall of Fame. But guess what? The NFL Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, has a rule and stating that no matter what a person does off the field, that has nothing to do with what they did on the field. They can't remove O.J. Simpson from the Pro Football Hall of Fame for what he was accused of. And if they had to do that, there's a bunch of other people they would have to take out of there too. But that's just racist as hell that Billboard would disrespect the king of pop, Michael Jackson, and not have Thriller. Thriller should be number one. Thriller should have been one. Ghostbusters, I would have put 2. Monster Mash, I probably would have done 3. Disgusting. Disgusting. Let me get out of here, y'all. Fuck y'all, Billboard, for that. Y'all send something. Don't buy nothing from Billboard. We got to call them out on this, too. I'm going to do this all this week up to Halloween. This is what we got to do. You got to stream Thriller on Spotify or iTunes. You got to listen to it all this week. We're going to bring it to number 1. We do it for Michael. We're making Thriller number 1 again. Let's do it. Let's start. All right, but that's the article, man. That really ticked me. But anyway, guys, y'all be safe. Be one, be safe. Be one, be blessed, be safe.